Okay, so we're back in Tomer Devorah. This is day 28. We're in chapter 9. How a person should accustom himself to the attribute of Malchut. So it says, furthermore, a man should take upon himself with great care to do whatever possible that the Shekhinah will cleave to him and not depart from him. Now it is self-understood that as long as he is not married, the Shekhinah is not at all with him, since the Shekhinah dwells with man mainly due to his female partner. So, you're half of a created being if you're not married. So, man stands between the two female aspects, his physical wife below in this world, who receives sustenance, clothing, and ona, and from him, and the Shekhinah, which rest above him, to bless him with all of these, so that he will give them again and again to the wife with whom he has formed the covenant of marriage. So, his position corresponds to Tiferet, which stands between the two female aspects of the Sephirot. So Ima Ila'ah, which is Bina, which bestows to it Tiferet, all its needs, and Ima Tata'ah, Malchut, which receives from it its sustenance. So clothing, Ona, so marital rights, which corresponds to Chesed, Din, and Rachamim, as it is known. But the Shekhinah will not come to him unless he emulates the pattern of the heavenly reality. Okay, now at times a man separates from his wife for one of three causes. First, she is a nida. The second, so she's impure. Okay, so the second, he is engrossed in Torah study and therefore separates himself from her on weekdays. And third, he goes on the road and he guards himself from sin. So at these times, the Shekhinah cleaves and binds herself to him and does not leave him, so that he is not abandoned and estranged. Rather, he is always a complete man, possessing both male and female elements. And since the Shekhinah unites with him, man should be careful not to cause the Shekhinah to separate from him. When he goes out on the road, which is number 3, he should be meticulous, thereby being rewarded, to recite the traveler's prayer, Tefillat Haderech, and hold fast to the Torah. So if you're not familiar with that, it is on this channel. You can search for it, something like the Traveler's Prayer, or the I don't remember how it's phrased, but there is a video for it. Well, I read it to you. So as a result, the Shekhinah, which guards his way, will constantly stand by his side. So basically, anytime you leave your town, you would say it. It's a prayer. It's a blessing that God will protect you on your journey. Okay, when he is engrossed in Torah study, this is the second, the Shekhinah also stands with him, since he is careful not to sin and is engrossed in Torah study. And back to the first, so too, when his wife is a nida, the Shekhinah stands by his side if he observes the laws of separation properly. So then on the night of her purification, on Shabbos night, or on returning from his travels, each of these being the proper time for fulfilling the mitzvah of marital relations, the Shekhinah above opens itself to receive holy souls. So too, one should have marital relations with his wife at these times. In this way, the Shekhinah will always be with him, as explained in the Zohar Parshat Bereshit. Furthermore, marital relations with his wife should take place only when the Shekhinah is in her place, that is, between the two arms, Chesed and Devorah. However, when the community is in distress, famine, etc., and the Shekhinah is not between the two arms, it is forbidden. This is the explanation given in Tikkunim of Parshat Bereshit. So obviously, when people should be fasting or something like that, then it's not appropriate. So one who wishes to unite with the king's daughter, the Shekhinah, so that she never separates from him, must first adorn himself with all sorts of adornments and fine garments, referring to the perfections of all the attributes we have mentioned. So basically purifying your actions, so that not only do you have the form, the tzelem and demut of the Creator, but that you have the attributes of the Creator. Okay, so after perfecting himself with these perfections, he should constantly concentrate on receiving the Shekhinah while studying Torah and bearing the yoke of the mitzvot, according to the essence of the meaning of unification. So then immediately the Shekhinah will attach herself to him and not separate from him. But this unification is on the condition that he purifies and sanctifies himself. And once one is pure and holy, he should contemplate accomplishing to give her, the Shekhinah, sustenance, clothing, and ona rights, as these are the 3 things a man is obliged to provide to his wife. So, with all his deeds, he should bestow spiritual bounty upon her, from the right, thereby sustaining her, and from the aspect of Devorah, he should cover her, so that the external forces will not dominate her, meaning that there should be no aspect of Yetzer Hara in his performance of mitzvot, such as for the sake of physical pleasure or the prospect of imagined honor or similar personal benefits. For the Yetzer Hara is present in such a mitzvah, and she, the Shekhinah, flees from him because the Yetzer Hara, is considered erva, or something of shame or nakedness. Therefore, he must cover the erva and always conceal it, so that that is the Yetzer Hara, will not dominate the Shekhinah. So how should this be done? All his deeds should be done for the sake of heaven, without the Yetzer Hara, without having any part of it, in addition to tefillin and tzitzit or powerful shields for her, the Shekhinah, preventing external forces from dominating her. Therefore, he should be accustomed to wearing them. And I'll point that out again. I mentioned this in another lecture. One of the highest angels, Michael, it is said, the Baal Shem Tov taught that Michael would give everything that he has, and all that he knows, to have the accomplishment of the mitzvah of wearing one of your tzitzit from one of the corners of your garment, just having the reward for one of them, one of the four. So basically 1/4 of the mitzvah of wearing tzitzit. He would give everything he has and all that he knows. Okay, that should tell you how high of a mitzvah it is. And I've had some videos dealing with tzitzit in the lecture on the Rambam's Mishnah Torah, and I believe also, I think I did a video, I know I recorded one, I'm not sure if it's up, the Kitzur Shulchan Aruch, and in the description of that video, I have 2 videos linked for Rabbi Duvi that has fantastic, miraculous stories regarding tzitzit that happened specifically to him. So, it is a powerful tool. Your tzitzit is a powerful tool. As a matter of fact, Rabbi Nehunya ben Hakana, one of the great Kabbalists of the rabbinic period, he was the biggest Makubal of his generation. He says in Perek Avot that put on the yoke of Torah and the yoke of government and the yoke of worldly responsibilities will be removed from you. What is the yoke of Torah? It is a talit. It is a talit. Because it represents all the mitzvot. Okay, he should unite her, Shekhinah, with Tiferet through saying the Shema in its proper time and by establishing fixed times for Torah study. And when he sets aside a time for all these things, he should contemplate that this is Ona for the Shekhinah, which is considered a supernal woman, the king's daughter. This idea is alluded to in the Tikkunim. So it's all just more or less coded words, but basically when you're not able to be with your wife for whatever reasons, as long as you're connecting yourself with Torah and mitzvot, that you're fulfilling all these things and you've tried to perfect your actions, the Shekhinah is with you. That is, and that is where you get divine inspiration. So the Mesilat Yesharim, the Ramchal's book, The Path of the Just, it details the steps to reach holiness and ultimately to Ruach HaKodesh, divine inspiration, which comes from the Shekhinah. And that whole process is perfecting yourself, okay, in various ways. That's what these books are all about. That's what the Mesilat Yesharim is all about. Tomer, Devorah, Orachot Tzadikim. These are all Kabbalistic works that help you, that teach you how to perfect yourself, to make we were created in the Tzelem and Demut, the image and likeness, or that's how it's generally translated, of our Creator. But we also need to have we don't want to have the form without the actions. So we need to have the actions of the Creator. So this is what we're doing in this book. This is what this entire book is about, is emulating the actions of the Creator. Okay. And Judaism teaches you it's not impossible. You can do these things. And it's interesting, if you're down here in southern Missouri, this is one of the most interesting places in probably in the United States where like you can just pull off the side of the road and do Tefillah. There's so many opportunities for that around here. Whereas in other places of the world, you have to like, where's the mikvah? Where's the mikvah? And out here, it's like, anyway. Okay, thanks for watching. That's day 28.